should have thrown that in the folder.
And it's a frequent crash location for firefighter that killed them was 241st for the Wednesday night. And how many times you have this happen? You know, if you're taking on side of people not paying attention.
We had one of those the other day.
So we need
Well,
to
hey,
Good.
Hey, howdy. Ooh, this thing really works, doesn't it? It's a lot nicer than Dauphin County's technical stuff. So, first off, I want to make sure everybody has signed in. If you have not signed in, please do so because that will be the role. Really? All right, we'll start over again then. I want to make sure, first of all, everybody has signed in, right? Because that will be the role by which we call people to come up for a presentation. But in the meantime, we will move forward with our agenda. And first off, we will start with the roll call. Larry, are you present? Present. Matt, are you present? Present. Betsy? I'm here. And Mr. Umberger is absent. David Craig is present. So we have a quorum, so we can move forward. First business is public participation. This is only if you have something to discuss other than your project. Hearing none, we'll move forward with approval of the meeting minutes from October 16th.
I'll make a motion to approve those minutes.
Second it.
Having a motion by Mr. Tennell and seconded by Larry. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Also, on our next item, number 5, we have the Hollywood Casino Financial Summary and Projections. LaToya, for interest of expediencies, would you mind just giving us the executive summary of what you have for us?
Sure. You all should have in front of you the performance of, You all should have in front of you the performance of the Pennsylvania casinos for the 2024 calendar year. There's a summary of January 2024 through December 31, 2024 of their performance for slots, iGaming, table games. If you have any questions, please let me know.
Thank you much. Yeah, like LaToya said, if you have any questions after reviewing it, you could certainly email her at any time if you wish. One other item of business I forgot to mention is this is being live streamed this evening, so please be aware. So if you're going to tell us something that's not general public information, you may want to reconsider that. Anyway, so that takes us down to item number 6, the report on the administration of gaming grants.
So each of you received a spreadsheet showing all of the awarded applicants from 2024 back to 2020. It shows you their expenditures and how much of the award funds are still available. After review, if you have any questions, you can let me know. Just to let you know, the March 1 notifications for the 2024 grants will be sent out shortly to the applicants that did not start spending their awarded funds. But other than that, business as usual.
Thank you much. Any questions for Brooke? Which brings us to item number 7 on our agenda, rescission of motion to accept application submitted by Pillow Fire Company. If there is no discussion, the chair will entertain a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Having a motion, is there a second?
I'll second it.
Having a second by Larry. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right. All right, so this now brings us down to item number 8, which is the review of submitted applications that did not receive a formal hearing. So, as you can look around, you can see there's a lot of folks in here. We are allotting 3 minutes for you to come up and discuss any new information. We have your submitted application so that we can read that, we can review that, we have that information. Additionally, I believe you've received some questions. Some of you haven't, maybe not all of you. But if you've already responded to those questions and we have those responses, we do not need you to come up and tell us again what your responses are. What we are looking for is any new, added, pertinent information. So, with that said, I will turn that over for our, are you going to follow the sign-in sheet, LaToya?
I have the sign-in sheet. Are you following the sign-in sheet?
If you get that, look, we can get going. So just to make sure, everybody that's in the room is signed in at this point, right? All right.
Okay, Hershey Volunteer Fire.
I don't have any additional information other than what I sent on Thursday. So unless you guys have questions.
So you're asking for debt service?
Yeah. Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Friends of Midland.
If you come up to the podium to speak, please state your name and which applicant you're with. Thank you.
My name is Barbara Barksdale. I'm with the Friends of Midland, the caretakers of Midland Cemetery, which is now on the National Register of Historic Places. Some things that you may not know, and I know you don't have probably any questions for me, we are also submitting applications so that we can also be on the Underground Railroad network here for the state of Pennsylvania and outside of Harrisburg, and also on the Civil Rights Trail, along with the Civil War trail also here in the Harrisburg area. As you know, we had, the people from the Civil War who are buried at Midland, as well as the Buffalo Soldiers and so on and so forth. So I'm just trying to continue to protect the history that we have and make sure that our Black history is not removed from our books, from our nation, and from our children. So if you have any questions, let me know. Okay? Thank you.
Okay, Todd Lease from Tim Heroes.
Good afternoon. Todd Lease, Tim Heroes. Have no new information to add. Just thank you for the opportunity to apply and answer any questions if you have any. I did submit a response to the questions that you put back to me. So thank you.
CW Fish Fry. CW Fish Fry.
Good afternoon. At this time, I have no additional information. I did submit answers to 4 questions, and so you all should have those. And if you have any questions for me, I'm willing to answer.
Your request is for a truck solely or a building as well as a truck? Thank you.
Building of the truck.
Building of the truck.
Hello, Hershey.
Hi there, my name is Eileen Voiles. I'm with Hello Hershey, also called Yokel. And I just wanted to give you guys an update since my application, which was back in September, I guess. We have made tremendous progress and have gotten a lot of traction. Since I applied, we have actually gotten a loan from First Commonwealth Bank and bought a $160,000 trolley. It's the picture of it is right there. Over the holidays, we actually tested our concept to take local consumers to small locally owned businesses through tours, food tours. And we rented a 15-passenger van, logoed it out, and ran 8 tours and took 86 people on these food tours. And it was really a great success. And with that information and experience, we decided to buy a trolley and go full on with that. So that really, I look at that as an accelerator for what we have been planning to do, which is create a website and an app that connects consumers to locally owned small businesses. So now, Yokel is not just an app and a website, it's a tour company. So my partner and I have now invested over $65,000 in this concept, not including that loan, and for marketing and to launch and everything like that. So that's the new information. I answered the 4 questions that were sent from Brooke. And I've also amended my application to include debt service for 1 year for this trolley, which is around $34,000. So, what questions do you have for me? Say that again. Thank you. It's been great. We have business owners now coming to us and asking to be on the website, and we're just feeling pretty good about it.
I have a
you.
question.
Oh, yes.
With the amendment to your application and the addition of the trolley and the tours, you had provided some additional jobs numbers. How did you come up with those jobs?
The job numbers from my original application.
Yeah, altogether, the whole application.
Well, it's been a while since I did that, but we just looked at the increase that the businesses will have from our support, and we're really conservative in those numbers, looking if they just grow, at 2% because of our endeavors, the impact that could have when we have 100, 200, 300 people listed on our site and part of our network. And those numbers now are already going to be stronger because of our tour company. We've already hired 1 driver, 1 admin, working on hiring 2 other drivers, so that's already happening. Any
Thank you.
other questions for me? Because I love to talk about it. Thank you so much.
Michael Hughes, HU.
This is for the Launch U Military Accelerator. The additional information is excited to report we already have 21 veterans and active duty military signed up for the program. I did answer 4 questions that were delivered to us, and that's it. Thank you.
Good Karma Garage.
Good afternoon, I'm Jeff Case with Good Karma Garage. Thank you for your presentation today, allowing us to get up here. I appreciate what you did. Also, some new information. You will be getting a reimbursement request for us for about $15,000 for last year's. It's in the city now, getting signed down there, so that'll be coming soon. As far as the questions go, you had asked what sources we were looking for or looking at. Besides this one, we have several local foundations that are interested in providing auto parts. That's as much as they're willing to do for us, which is great. I'm not trying to talk ahead about it, but for some of the bigger fixed costs, which is what's kind of holding us up right now, to really kick it into high gear, we are looking for some of the bigger folks. Where we have applied previously is the Veterans Trust Fund. We have CDBG grants in with the city. The PA Skill relationship with Mile One Cares, which is a local auto dealer here. They're actually out of Maryland, but, they have a couple dealerships here. And we started conversations with M&T Bank and Belco, so we are out there looking for more and more money. You asked what we would do if we were not funded here. We would channel our inner Celine Dion and our heart would go on. We will continue to provide the services that we're providing now. We just may not be able to do it at the same level that we're doing it at this point. It would be a matter of the volume, how many people we can do. And really where we'd help to include or increase that is with the fixed costs. Do we have a stated goal? We're trying to get to 300 families this year. And families is about 3 people, so that's 1,000 folks, almost 1,000 folks that we'd be helping this year. Last year we finished up at 217, so just over 650 people that we've helped last year. But without help with the fixed costs, I think that's kind of where we're going to land this year as well. So if we get the help with the fixed costs, that's going to allow us to do more. Any dollar that I get towards the fixed cost goes right into helping more people. So we had asked for $20,000 in fixed costs, operating costs, and that would allow us to do 63 more families at the rate we're going now. One thing, I don't remember if we put it in there or not, but one aspect of what we do that I found recently is that the money that we put out is multiplied. So last year we did $61,000 worth of auto parts that we put on people's car at no cost to them. That returned to those families $179,000 in money they didn't have to spend. For every dollar we spend, it's $2.95 that the recipients save on that. So that's where we're looking to make that progress. With that, I think that's all the new information I have. I'm happy to answer any questions that you have.
Jeff, on your end,
I can hear you.
on your end, about how many people, you, your son, are involved in this undertaking each month? Is there 5 of you, or?
I'm going to say there's 2 of us that work in the Good Karma Garage.
Okay.
What we're doing now, we were in a position where we were using volunteer technicians, so we would get people to come in and work on other folks' cars. But what we found out was we couldn't do the volume that was needed, and we also didn't have the quality control that we wanted. So what we've gone to now is we contract with folks. So I don't mean to speak ill of anybody, because like the volunteers come with all different skill levels, and what they do for their car may not be good enough for what other folks. So what we have is actually certified mechanics that are working on the cars now, and we have 3 of those that are in the shop every day working on cars, and then we just kind of slide our cars into the routine as they go forward. So to directly answer your question, there's 5 people associated with this work. Nobody is paid by Good Karma Garage. We have no paid employees.
Right. Okay. Good, thank you.
Thank you all.
So just as a quick note, once you've given your presentation, you are free to go. You can stay and listen if you wish, all up to you.
A reminder, if you did not submit your responses to your questions to Brooke by email, even if you're presenting them today, please follow up and submit those in writing to Brooke. Thank you.
Bethany AME.
Good afternoon. My name is Dawn Reeves, representing Bethany AME Church. We did complete the 4 questions that were sent to us. There's really nothing new to add to our original application. Just there was a question about scheduling and where we were at on our schedule, and we are on the timeline in terms of selecting a contractor to replace some needed doors. So that's all I have to add. Thank you. I'm sorry.
Has there been any additional fundraising aside from the $15,000 mentioned in the application?
No, there hasn't. No, that
thank
was
you.
internal, yes.
Thank you.
Is that it? Thank you.
Okay, Heidi Mace, when you come up, if you just want to list everybody that you're here for.
Good afternoon. I'm Heidi Mace. I'm here on 4 different entities. The first one is the Borough of Elizabethville, or you may have it under Elizabethville Borough. I did answer all the questions and submitted them to Brooke. The only update I have for that one is that the maintenance truck is kind of a 2-part thing. You order the chassis and then you have it built. We did already purchase the chassis to get the ball rolling on that because it takes a while. And so we still will have the cost with building the truck then. Does anybody have any questions on that? All right, the next one is...
Question.
Oh, yes.
What was the cost to purchase the chassis, and what's the cost separately to build the truck?
So I believe the breakdown... The breakdown was $60,840 for the chassis. Now, we didn't pay that yet. We just ordered it. We will not get the invoice for that until it's done. And then they will start with the body, and that's $79,248.
Thank you.
Any other questions on that? Okay, the next one is the Stevers R. Day, Millersburg Post, number 326. I answered all the questions, gave them to Brooke. I have nothing new to report on that one. Next, I have Ministry Business Consultants doing business as the Valley Lighthouse. I answered those questions as well, gave them to Brooke, and there's nothing new to report with that. And the last is Rockstart Early Learning Center, and I answered those questions and submitted to Brooke, unless you have any additional questions on that.
I do. How many additional staff will be hired for that project?
It's a debt reduction, so there is no additional staff.
Well, the application talks about if the debt is reduced, that would free up additional funds and be able to hire additional staff.
So the debt is large, so it's just, we've just reopened, we just opened a second facility, and that's what it's for. So those were already hired. The staff is already hired, and the debt reduction is for that. So it would be a while down the road for additional staff. Anything else?
Okay, Tammy Briggs, if you could come forward and just let us know who you're here for.
Hi, everybody. I'm Tammy Briggs. I'm representing 3 nonprofits in the northern Dauphin County area. First one is Camp Hebron. I did submit the questions to Brooke for cabin replacement. We finished 10, so we got 2 left. We really need some help with that. The second one is Millersburg Area Senior Center. That is, as you know, for emergency preparedness shelter. There are none in northern Dauphin County aside from David's Community Bible Church. So this is a huge need. Just to add to the proposal, I didn't know that until I came here till yesterday, that there is only one emergency shelter, not even the schools or anything. any other establishment in Northern Dauphin County has an emergency shelter. So I definitely want to add that to the proposal. And finally, Millersburg Ferry Boat Association, they want to do a repair on their ferry boat, as you know, and they're the oldest boats on the river, 444-mile stretch. So I don't have anything else to add to that as well. Do you have any questions? I did submit answers to all of your questions on all three of those proposals.
I have a couple questions.
Sure.
On Camp Hebron, can you explain, are the annual dinner and Battle of the Decades two different fundraisers?
Yes, they are. This year they were, yes, correct. We have a pretty hefty financial sustainability plan to finish these cabins. Like I said, since I started the application, we were able to raise money for 2 additional with 2 remaining. That will cover all 12 cabins that are 67 years old.
For the construction or improvements at the senior center, do you have an estimated number of the number of jobs that will be created?
Jobs, probably none, except for the construction people that we hire to do these jobs, of course. But
That's what I'm asking. Do you have an estimated number of construction jobs?
I don't know how many people would be on the construction team, but we did have some quotes that I submitted to you guys, but I don't know exactly how many numbers that would be. But it is a $191,000 job, so it's pretty extensive.
Thank you. For the ferry boat project, is the applicant reducing the request based on the quotes that came in? Is the request now $13,959?
That is correct. Yes,
Thank
yes.
you.
We are reducing our request, and that's a much needed thing because it's going to save on the repairs for the ferry boat. We have to do about $15,000 in repairs every single year. So having these laminated beams they're going to last 15 to 20 years instead of replacing them every year or every other year, which is a lot of money. So appreciate your consideration. Any other questions? Okay, thanks.
Bob Stout?
Bob Stout, Dauphin County Hazmat and Local Emergency Planning Committee. No new information, unless you have any questions.
(717) Live.
Chad Scott, 717 Live Media. Only thing I have to add is that our timeline was off 90 days, grabbing more journalists, and we're actually moving forward with the launch. We're actually launching the first week of spring. We're at the end of the winter. We're moving into the launch that we actually put it, and we're actually going into the second installment. We're working on our second issue. So our first inaugural issue, which would be, we wanted it to be the winter issue, but it's going to be winter/spring, and we're moving into our next installment. Only new effort. And I did submit the questions, so if anybody has any additional questions.
Based on the amounts that you plan to leverage from other funding sources, can you identify the specific amount that you need from local share to contribute to the project?
Yes, that's into the questions. I think it will.
So is it still 35, or is it?
I think it would. No, it comes down because I'm launching already. I don't need that part into the thing as far as the launch. The biggest cost of that was production and print, being that a lot of publications aren't really dealing with print. But the response that I'm getting, I think, is actually going to turn into a quarterly print thing, but I'm not committed to that until 2026. So I'm still committed to printing twice this year. 2026 is when I'm looking more to print every quarter. Thanks.
AKA Foundation.
Good afternoon. I am Susan Sims, Marsh, president of the AKA Foundation of Central Pennsylvania. We did respond to the questions that we received for Brooke, and we have no additional information to add at this time. Thank you.
Nativity School?
Good afternoon, Denise Hearn from the Nativity School of Harrisburg. Nothing to add to our application, and I did receive and answer the questions from Brooke last week.
Historical Society of Dauphin County?
Hi, I'm Chris Turner with the Historical Society of Dauphin County. I have no new information. As a historical society, we mainly have old information. So, and I sent in the answers to all the questions to Brooke. So,
Do you have a status of the society's request to the Klein Foundation?
yes, the Klein Foundation is in.
It's in?
Yes, correct. So that is in hand. Thank you.
Crosspoint, UMC?
I'm Kent Wyatt from Crosspoint UMC. No new information, and I did answer the questions that was submitted. You have any questions of me?
Catholic Charities?
Hi, Luke Ellion here for Catholic Charities. Brooke has the answers to our questions, and we have nothing to add. Correct. Thank you.
What's the status of the Neighborhood Assistance Tax Credit Program request?
So those applications are due in June, so that would be pending, and then they are announced in the fall.
How much does the applicant plan to request from that resource?
That has not been determined yet. It depends a little bit on, there's like a fundraising aspect, businesses contribute money, and then based on how much they contribute, you request the tax credit amount. But we're hoping for $100,000 to $150,000.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Beacon Clinic?
Hi, Lori Clark Robinson for Beacon Clinic. We submitted our questions to Brooke, and we appreciate the opportunity to submit. Does anybody have questions for me?
Are you able to identify the new funders that you provided?
Yes, it was Compol 15 and Klein 15.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Dan? I'm not going to try.
Zalewski?
Good afternoon, everyone. Dan Zalewski with Dazzle Development, representing today 8 organizations that were sent follow-up questions. All questions were submitted to Brooke previously with support material. The list of agencies or organizations, roughly in alphabetical order: D&D Journeys, the J.T. Dorsey Foundation, Nathaniel Gadsden's Writers' Word Shop, the National Civil War Museum, Roller Nation Foundation, Ronald McDonald House Charities of Central PA, St. Stephen's Episcopal School, and United Disability Services Foundation. There are no new, no additional or new information since we submitted the questions. Do you have any?
I do. For the first one, D&D Journeys.
Yes.
Can you clarify the total project costs? I think there may have been a discrepancy in the application. Is it 114,000 or 128,000?
I believe the 114 has been the one they settled on after doing some more reviews of potential cost to rehab the vehicle.
Thank you.
Sure.
You went a little fast, so what was the second
Oh, I'm
applicant you're
sorry.
representing?
J.T. Dorsey Foundation.
I don't think I had any questions on that one, so the next one
Okay. Nathaniel Gadsden's Writers Word Shop.
I may have. What's the status of the corporate sponsorships or private grants that were mentioned in the application?
Private grants, they've received a few of them towards the end of the calendar year. I don't have them memorized on which ones. The corporate sponsors are still being worked on, if you will.
And the request is for $25,000. The application says that the total project cost is $50,000, but it's unclear what the additional $25,000 is for.
Well, basically, the full $50,000 is for the entire project of all the participants. We're trying to seek part of that to cover, half of the participation.
Thank you.
Sure. National Civil War Museum.
Next one.
Roller Nation Foundation.
Are the other funds or the funding resources that were identified in the application, are they in hand, are they pending, or some other status?
We have received one or two. We just did receive a significant gift in according
Are
to
you
the
able
plan.
to identify the amounts and
I
the
believe it was
sources?
100,000 even.
100,000?
Yeah, it was committed, yes.
Oh, okay. Does that change the applicant's request amount? The project cost is $75,000.
Right, well, the 100,000 is for the entire complex, not just this part of the project that we're seeking
Okay.
funding here for.
Thank you. Next one.
Ronald McDonald House.
The responses to the questions mentioned that $5,000 was recently received or at the end of 2024. What was the source for that?
Unfortunately, I'm not aware of that one there. Their development person just left the organization, so we're trying to catch up with some other updates. I don't have that directly.
Okay, and then the application identified two additional funding sources, the Gamber Foundation grant. Do you know the status of that? At the time of the app, it was pending?
Gamber, it's still pending to my knowledge.
Okay, and then future grant submissions, are there updates on that?
We can get you a list of the latest. There's about 5 or 6 in the pipeline right now.
Thank you. Did you have any others?
Yes, St. Stephen's School, Episcopal School.
Is there an update or status on donations or grants that are being applied for?
We, as our firm, is continuing to work on the grants on a continuous basis. As for the foundation or the traditional donations, we are developing a program with them now that's going to be new for EITC as well as neighborhood assistance. They just had their administrator just left the school, so we are kind of like stepping in to take over the non-educational aspects of the administration until they identify their new principal. So it's all, kind of in motion with us right now.
Thank you.
And then United Disability Services. I was waiting for you to get your note done.
Yeah. I'm not fancy like this right here.
Well, at least you're wearing green, so.
That's right. No questions for that one.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, well, everyone, thank you for your time. And if there's anything else, Brooke knows how to track me down. Thanks.
Lingostown Baseball.
Good afternoon, Nathan Garman, President, Lingostown Baseball. Just one quick update. The numbers in the answers to the questions, the total project cost was actually $54,805 at the Teener Field. I think it was listed in the questions as 51. or under 51. So total cost was $54,805, and Lingelstown Baseball's total cash contribution was $26,055. It's about a difference of a little less than $5,000 more, but wanted to share that. And just wanted to let you all know, you'll remember last year when we had this conversation here, we were talking about having to expedite this project due to the dugouts being torn down at all our fields for safety reasons. And what ended up happening is we ended up going ahead and committing more money to kind of move the project forward. We had played one season without dugouts at any of the fields, and so we decided to take the awards that we had and go ahead and just provide the cash to move the project forward in hopes of coming back here as we did in the past, talking about a phased approach. So we were able to complete the construction on the dugouts of Field 3, the Teener Field, and have also made significant improvements in Coons Park of north of about $15,000 in field improvements, which we very much see that as our cost of doing business, having a safe and good playing field for the kids to play on. But it certainly benefits more than just our 400 families. It really makes Coons Park look like an excellent facility, and we're happy to be a partner with the township to provide those types of improvements when we can. Other than that, we submitted our answers to all of the questions and still have the dugout projects at the other two fields, as that was in the answers. We're working with Dauphin County VOTEC to kind of help on that approach and bring costs down compared to what we did at the Teener Field, kind of learning from the approach as we go and phase this. So I'm happy to answer any additional questions you may have.
For the Teener Field, did you say the Baseball Association's contribution was 26 or 21?
Our contribution on the final costs were $26,055.
Are you requesting 21,290? I thought I read that.
No, so that our answers to the question was that was our final. So we went ahead and finished the project at the Teener Field. So those were the final costs that we had. So it was made up of $10,000 from our previous gaming grant, the $18,750 from the last year's gaming grant, and then Lingelstown Baseball's contribution of $26,055. That completed the dugouts at the Teener Field, which was one of the three fields. And at this point, our original application for all three fields, we were saying we would commit $20,000. So we did one field, and we're a little north of where we expected to be, but our families have been helpful. Our community sponsors have been wonderful, and so we'll continue to fundraise and move forward on the other two projects.
Thank you.
No other questions? All right, thank you. And we do appreciate the support in the past and look forward to working with you more.
Okay, Jeff Nichols, National Civil War. Do you have additional information? Okay. We're good? Okay, we're good, thank you. Peyton Walker Foundation.
I'm Ann Myers from the Peyton Walker Foundation, and I submitted answers to the 4 questions that Brooke requested. And I have no additional information. You did get my I revised the answers.
I believe so.
Yep, great. Yeah, it's for the 4-Minute City program in Dauphin County.
Based on the information that was provided, has the grant request been reduced to $55,000?
Yes, that's correct.
$650. Okay, thank you.
More further questions? Okay. Thank you for your time, and thank you for your past generosity. We really appreciate it.
United Way.
My name is Kelly Robertson, and I'm representing United Way of Capital Region. And We have submitted all of our information and questions. I do not have any additional information. I do have a bit of an update form that we had sent out just because it's a new quarter, so I can give you that. Are there any questions? Thank you, and we thank you for your support.
Lingelstown softball.
Hi there, I'm Nate Sanko, president of Lingelstown Softball. The only thing I have further, we answered your questions, is I just received confirmation email that Senator Patty Kim is going to support us as well. That's the only thing I have. Do you guys have anything else?
Is she going to send a letter?
She's going to send a letter, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Lycans Valley Children's Museum.
Hello, I'm Lisa Diddy with the Lycans Valley Children's Museum. I submitted all the answers to the questions, so I don't have anything additional unless you guys have questions. No? All right, thank you so much.
Foundation for Central Dauphin Schools.
Hi, I'm Sandra Brooks with the Foundation for Central Dauphin Schools NutriPacks program. I did submit responses to Brooks' questions through email, but I'm happy to answer any questions you might have at this time. No? No? Okay, thank you for your support.
Greater Zion Baptist Church.
Hi, my name is Sharon Bass, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to submit the application. Thank you for the past support so far. And I did submit my questions to Brooke, and we've had some new things developing, but nothing pertaining to the grant itself. So if you have any questions for me, I'd be happy to try and answer those for you. Okay, thank you.
Yes, correct. Thank you.
State Street Academy of Music.
Hi, I'm Cindy Noyes with State Street Academy of Music. We do not have anything to present as far as updates. We did respond to Brooke's questions.
Thank you. Dauphin County Sheriff.
Good afternoon, Sheriff Nicholas Comenti, Dauphin County Sheriff. The Sheriff's Office has nothing to add regarding our Motorola radio replacement project. We're proud to serve the 290,000 citizens of Dauphin County and to assist all of our local departments, including Harrisburg City, to eradicate crime and to make Dauphin County a safer place to live. We thank you for the grant opportunity, and if you have any questions of me regarding our radio project, all of our projects seem to be never ending, I'm here to answer some questions. None? Thank you.
Shield Driving School.
Hi, my name is Brad Bixler. I'm the owner of Shell Driving School. I answered the question submitted. I just want to clarify the second question. We were able to get $50,000 line of credit through Members First to make sure that we were able to meet all the additional funding that we were going to take on for the project. If you have any other questions, I'll be more than glad to answer them.
Does that change your grant request amount?
No. It pays for the location that we secured yesterday.
Thank you.
Yep.
Major Prep.
Good afternoon. I'm Brian Majors, the owner of Major Preparation. No other changes. We submitted all the questions in. Only thing else is that we do have the confirmations from the different superintendents and principals from each school, and we work with a few different local companies and businesses to also be sponsors for us as well. Go Eagles. Go Birds. Any other questions? If not, I'm good. Thanks so much.
Pillow-Burrow.
Good afternoon. My name is Todd Loudenslager. I'm the mayor of Pillow, and we submitted our answers to Brooke, and I didn't know what you voted on for Pillow Fire Company. I didn't know where their application was at the moment. I couldn't hear what you voted on at the start of the meeting. If I need to answer any questions about the fire company, because I was also asked how to prioritize the water authority versus the fire company.
Mayor Loudenslager, at
Yes.
the board's October meeting, based on the information that was available at the time, it was believed that the fire company had submitted the proper documentation for sponsorship. After that meeting, it was determined that they had not. And so today, the board voted to rescind their action at the October meeting, which was moving the fire company's application forward to the commissioners for sponsorship.
Okay. Well, we appreciate that very much, and thanks for your flexibility and understanding on that. But if we had to prioritize water versus fire, it's a hard choice. That nobody likes to make that decision, but we would like to apply the money we can towards the water to provide safe, clean water for our town. Beginning of March, we're planning on, due to weather, cold weather this year, colder than normal, we're planning on starting the standpipe rehabilitation, and also a connection to our well number 6 has to make our final connection. So that's through some CDBG money.
If you have additional questions about the fire company, you can reach out to George's office. For the authorities project, it's our understanding that the tank rehabilitation is the first priority,
Yes.
and then the meters.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Very good. Thank you for all your support in the past, and we hopefully work with you again.
Hannah's Pantry.
Good afternoon. Let me be the first to thank you for moving it to this venue as opposed to the one last year. It's much appreciated. I have Lori Scheinvold from Hannah's Pantry. I have a couple updates. We did submit questions to Brooke last week. I wanted to touch on our grant application or grant award from last year. There is a reimbursement that will be on its way to you soon. We've had some board transition in the fall, and we're trying to get caught up on everything. In terms of updates for us, in our application, we submitted that we have been feeding around 700 families a month. That has risen yet again. We had 786 families in December. So we're about 50 families a month more than we were in August. Second, if anybody's been to the grocery store lately, grocery costs are not coming down, and that's not even touching on egg costs. So we were a little surprised to hear from the Central Pennsylvania Food Bank at the end of December that their cost to us would be going up mid-year. So our costs for eggs, which is not a surprise to anyone, I'm going to guess, have gone up. But they are also increasing our cost for purchased produce. to a tune of would have been about $12,000 difference in our budget last year. So it was a big surprise to us to have that kind of mid-year shock. So that is just a little bit of an update where we are. Any questions?
Can you identify the amount being requested from the Klein Foundation?
That was $5,000.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Anything else? Thank you for the opportunity. We really appreciate your assistance.
Off the Streets, Middletown, Inc.
Good afternoon, Jim Young from Off the Streets, Middletown, Inc. I have clarification corrections in the 4 answers that we sent to Brooke. I also have some updated information from when we submitted our application. Apparently there was some typo. I'm not very good with numbers. 88,000 is the number of what we have raised to date. It looks like it's $88 in there. Also, there was a question in terms of what function we play, what role we play in assisting the unhoused in Dauphin County. And basically what we do is we provide the security deposit and any furniture, household items, and things like that. Think of it as a mother of 3 living in a shelter or in a motel qualifies through the housing authority or through a social service agency for a housing voucher. They find a landlord that will accept the housing voucher, but they lack the security deposit and they have no furniture. We step in at that point. And help them and work with numerous social service agencies throughout Dauphin County. By way of updates, since we submitted the application, we have helped over 400 people along the 230 corridor in Dauphin County with assistance. We have provided over $85,000 in security deposits. We will give each family up to $1,000 in security deposits. Since we filed our application, we've added another 20 to 25 volunteers. Our group consists of about 85 individuals at this point in time. We're seeking a $50,000 grant. $25,000 of it will be to purchase a used truck. Hopefully for older volunteers like myself, it'll have a lift on the back, so we're not lifting dressers and tables and things like that. Since we've submitted the application, we've been working with hotels in the area. Every 2 years, they need to recycle their queen-size beds. We've taken over 70 of them from the Hotel Hershey and from other hotels in the area, cleaned them and provided them to families that lacked a bed. In addition, in our $50,000 grant, we're asking for $21,000 so that we can help a minimum of 21 additional families with security deposits. We have a waiting list of people who have housing vouchers that are waiting for us to have the money to give them for the $1,000 deposit. We collect furniture 2 or 3 times a week throughout Dauphin County. Oh, I said you were telling me to wrap up. I'm sorry. Okay, sorry about that. We actually pick up the donated furniture and deliver it to the families. Most social service agencies don't do that. Again, we have a list of people, waiting list of people waiting to donate furniture and for us to deliver it to them. The final item is $4,000 for kids' beds. We can never have enough of it. I can't tell you the satisfaction of moving a family into a house, and it's the first time a kid's ever had a dresser or a bed that he can call his own. So I'm sorry to see my fellow Eagles fan here leave, because this grant for us will be as much of a game changer as signing Saquon Barkley was for the Eagles. So I'll be glad to answer any questions. You're good? Thank you. Sorry if I went too long.
Dauphin County CASA.
Good afternoon, Will Foster, we're the Executive Director for Dauphin County CASA. We don't have any additional information to provide, but other than, you know, our rent costs are going to be doubling or tripling, or we're expecting that soon. One of our board members who's been housing us is no longer going to be able to house us, and she was doing it at a very drastic discount. So we are expecting some of our operating costs to go up in the near future as well. And we are also training another class of volunteers. So since the time I took over as executive director, we've tripled our volunteer base, and we are about to add 10 to 15 more in April. So we're just rapidly growing, and we appreciate the support that the gaming grant has given us in the past.
Is there a priority item in the list of provided in your application? Like, is there a highest priority or top priority in your request?
We're a nonprofit. Everything's a priority. No. I honestly, every little bit helps. And if I was to walk away today without getting any of it, it would be, we would still have to find a way to move forward. So I can't pick just one, to be honest with you.
Thank you. Can you identify how much was received from the Stabler Foundation?
The Stabler Foundation, I believe, supports us as a multi-year, and they give us $5,000 every year, I believe, for 5 years, I think is what they provided.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Driven from within.
Good day. Thank you for having us. Charles Finley, the second and third here, standing in for Micah Davenport, who had an emergency on behalf of the national champion, Driven from Within AAU basketball organization. To my knowledge, I believe all information has been sent in to Brooke. Just wanted to give a brief update of activities that have been going on since the application has been submitted. We have partnered with the Loop Boys and Girls program on the Allison Hill Community Center, where we have a mandatory book club, culinary arts program, and also financial literacy that the children or the students have to do prior to any participation as far as playing basketball. Also, along with that, we also have invited in other students who are not necessarily playing basketball but want to be a part of the program that we're doing from different school districts: Susquehanna, Harrisburg, Mechanicsburg, Redland, Central Dauphin, CD East, Stilton, and maybe some other surrounding school districts that I may not be thinking of off the top of my head. Also with that, we are also, a lot of kids want to go to the NBA or the NFL or, Major League Baseball, but we know the percentages say that that's not going to happen. So what we're also doing is have programming for them as far as that they can still be a part of those particular organizations, as far as being a cameraman, being an agent, being a trainer, videographer. So those are also things that we have been implementing in our programming, statisticians, things of that nature, reporting. So we have kids that, we have students that are interviewing kids after games, interviewing, refereeing as well. We have PIAA refs that come to our practices, so we have some of the kids mirroring the refs. So we're just trying to expose them to different aspects of sports. I don't know if you have any questions for me, and I apologize if I'm not able to answer them intelligently on behalf of Mr. Davenport, but if you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them. Oh, also currently we have approximately 115 players that are in our organization, and approximately about a total of approximately 165 that participate with us as an organization with the programming that we do. Any questions? Thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it.
J&K Investment.
Good afternoon. My name's Kevin Murphy with JK Investments. For the last 15 years, we've been doing residential rentals, just recently transitioned into taking blighted properties and converting them to affordable housing. Wanted to thank you guys for your opportunity for this application, your past support, and we're hoping for your continued support to bring this project home. I submitted everything to Brooke. I don't have anything additional. If you have any questions for me, I'd be glad to answer them. Nope. Great, thanks. Have a good day.
LHAC?
Good afternoon. I'm Gloria Vasquez-Merrick. I'm the Executive Director of the Latino Hispanic American Community Center of the Greater Harrisburg region. And we submitted the answers to our questions, but I'll be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Can you talk a little bit about the funds to be contributed to the project?
The funds that are going to the ADA project?
Yes.
Well, we are submitting other grants, as you know, because we don't usually wait to see if we get the funds, and we try to work ahead of time on that. We are having a meeting next week with the Legislative Caucus, and we're hoping that we will succeed in convincing them that we need some help for our building. It's a new building. It's a 1927 circuit building, and it needs a lot of work. And so we are putting funds in wherever we can to get help for the building. We also have parking lots. We just put in for a $300,000 grant with DCED to see if we could do improvements in our parking lot. Right now it's just what do you call it, pebbles. And so we'd like to have some asphalt and bituminous materials put on that parking lot so that we can use it properly. So we're putting in funds for a lot of different things, not just the ADA and the alarm system.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Harrisburg Historic Association.
Hello, I'm David Morrison, Executive Director of the Historic Harrisburg Association. We are restoring our building. We've answered all the questions, by the way, that Brooke sent. Our restoration includes a new HVAC system, which the county gaming grant will fund half of. And if we get the full funding that we've requested this year, that'll put us over our goal. We've raised the other half and set it aside in our restricted account. So we're making great progress, and this has been a big help. Happy to answer any questions.
When will the project be completed?
Excuse me?
When will the project be completed?
It's in design now, and as soon as we have the full funding, we'll get underway. So probably later this year.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we already heard from Harrisburg University, so as long as Kelly and or Derek don't have anything extra to say.
This was a separate request from the one that Michael used.
Okay.
He's with the state, but I don't have anything further to add except welcome to our university. Thank you for being here.
Are there additional questions for them? Okay. Neighborhood FC.
Good afternoon. Afalabi Oyolowo from Neighborhood Football Club. Hello. We answered the questions previously to Brooke, and just if you have any further follow-up questions or anything, we're happy to answer. Oh, it is soccer, yes, but we are football in the global sense.
How much has been received from the Foundation for Enhancing Communities?
We have received so far $5,000 from the upstream grant, and then also another $800 from the Martin Sachs Foundation as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Thank you so much. Go Birds.
That's right.
Club Clippa.
Hello, everybody. My name's Andy Hartwick, representing Club Clipper Barbershop. Just wanted to come and introduce myself to everybody and say hi, and appreciate taking the time to look over my grant proposal. I did send the questions back to Brooke. I hope I answered them correctly. Still means a lot to me. Born and raised there. It needs much help as it can get, so I really would appreciate looking to help get my building back in order. It's been 30 years since I've been doing it. Very proud of what I do in the community, and any help that I can get through the county gaming grant would be very helpful to our community. It's getting tough down there, so any little bit can help. I appreciate the time. If there are any questions I can answer, I'll be happy to.
Do you have the cost for the HVAC, doors, and windows improvements?
Yes, I did submit them in my grant. I believe we put the numbers in because I had proposals done.
Okay.
So everything should be in there. You're looking about $15,000 for the HVAC.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, I'm sorry. Yep. All right, thank you.
Cathedral Parish of St. Patrick.
Clumsy. Good afternoon. Dan Reistetter. I'm a parishioner and volunteer at the Cathedral Parish of St. Patrick. Thank you for this opportunity. Did submit responses to Brooke this past Friday as requested to the questions that were sent to us. Just a couple addendums to our application on page 2, the second paragraph. We note that the Cathedral Parish itself would be undertaking a capital campaign. That will no longer be the case as part of our bicentennial in 2026. That actually we're told that the Roman Catholic Diocese itself will be undertaking that, so we're not really clear when that will happen. And that was going to be more for the historic preservation of the interior of the cathedral, but I just wanted to clarify that because it does state that the parish itself was to undertake a capital campaign. The second clarification at the bottom of page 2 is we did undergo a Pennsylvania State Police risk and vulnerability assessment as indicated this past October, and we believe our project, the requested approval of the security upgrade funding, is consistent with the recommendations of the state police security or risk and vulnerability assessment recommendations that they provided to us. With that, appreciate the opportunity. Happy to answer any questions.
Salvation Army.
Good afternoon. My name is Tony Merck. I'm with the Salvation Army in Harrisburg. That was fun. The only thing I wanted to note was that this is our 140th year in Harrisburg. The Salvation Army has had a presence that long, and the only reason we've been able to do it is because we've been able to pivot according to our community's needs over time. One of the needs we have right now is transportation. Doesn't seem like a big thing, but for the local children, in order to get to an after-school program, it is. And the only other thing I wanted to note was we met last week to discuss some of our summer youth enrichment program, which is about 100 students, grades K through 5. And what we do, we have some career exploration components in there that are really important to us. We're able to bring some of the kids out into the community to places like Harrisburg University, the HAC, the community college nearby, and it gives us an opportunity to start planting those early seeds of what they're going to be doing after high school. Of course, we'll be using the van in there. So that's the only thing I wanted to mention, and happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
Technology for me.
Good afternoon. My name is Merritt Green. I'm with Technology for Me. I answered the 4 questions. The only thing that I have as an update that wasn't included in my package was I found out that giving computers to young adults can lead to them creating businesses. And so we went from one stage of actually gifting a computer to someone who needed it and then help them start their own business doing graphic design. So that was a win and something that we didn't expect, but we definitely can handle it because I'm a small business and I figured out how to navigate Pennsylvania's small business development thing. So anybody have any questions for me? All right, thank you.
Loop.
Hi, I'm Danita Reed. I'm representing Loop after school program, youth at risk program. We did respond to the 5 questions. Is there any questions that I could provide answers to for you? No? Thank you.
CMAC interior design.
Hi, my name is Clarice Lube. We don't have any additional information, and we submitted all the answers to Brooke. Thank you. Thank you.
Civic Club.
Good afternoon. My name is Dina Jandari. I'm the Development Director for the Civic Club of Harrisburg. First, we'd like to thank you for your generous support from the first phase of our project. Just wanted to reiterate, the importance of this grant and how it would help with our structural integrity and community function as we proceed with more programming at the Civic Club of Harrisburg. We have just noticed that the need is much greater for the different programs that we do have, and that how people are just loving the building. We are 127 years old. This past January, we celebrated a birthday, and the Civic Club really is the one of very few residential buildings still standing along the Susquehanna River. So we really thank you for the opportunity to present again and look forward to some additional help. Do you have any questions? I'd be happy to answer them. Yes, ma'am. Yes, we're still doing that. Yep. We're beautifying every spring throughout the summer. It's just gorgeous. Yes. Thank you.
Tri-Transit.
Good evening. My name is James. I'm the owner of Tri-Transit. You here? All right. I'm the owner of Tri-Transit. I submitted my questions, my answers to my questions. If you guys have any other questions for me, as far as. All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Vision Resources.
Resources, Director of Development, has submitted some questions to Brooke. We started with an original submittal for a piece of equipment to work with our printing equipment. It was one of the components we were going to add to that. It's called a knife folder. Primarily for us, because we have a bulk mailing system also, it would take folding booklets and fold them to meet postal regulations. While we were waiting for that, I submitted another grant with McCormick and received $10,000 from the McCormick Foundation towards this overall grant for this knife folder. However, in the meantime, unfortunately, our bulk mailing system had major problems in December. And so we haven't been able to do bulk mailing. And so I submitted an addendum to the original request to get the equipment, to get the bulk mailing equipment up to speed, because this knife folder would be a component of the overall bulk mailing, as well as other things. Now, with the equipment that's broken down on the bulk mailing system right now, we are limited what we can do. Having that knife folder really doesn't help us until we fix that other equipment. And that all went down, unfortunately, just within the last month. So do you have any questions, or did you get a chance to read the addendum for that equipment, or about that problem, that situation?
I did not. Can you give me a real quick rundown?
Sure. I'll try to give it quickly. The equipment on the bulk mailing equipment that went down, and this is equipment we've probably had since I started, because it was one of the first grants I wrote. It's probably about 12 years ago. We had a technician come in and he said the controller, which is sort of like a computer, I understand, but a big one that runs all the equipment that is a part of the bulk mailing equipment. That went down. Our software is 12 years old, and he said, you're going to have to update that too when you update the controller. And then, this is very minor, but he said, you might as well update your monitor and your keyboard. That came to a total of $13,870. The original knife folder came in at, let's see, if I have the numbers right here, somewhere. I think it was at $42,400. Then I got the $10,000 from the McCormick Foundation. So $32,400 was the original request for the knife folder. And then when you add the 13,000 here, it brings it up to $46,270.
The addendum information is in the file link if you want to look at that.
And I think I did answer all the other questions that were submitted. There was 10 altogether. But if you have any other questions, I'll be happy to answer them as best I can. Thank you.
Barrysburg Municipal Authority.
Hi, I'm Dan Perva with Barrysburg Municipal Authority. I do apologize for my voice. I was doing a lot of yelling last night. So we did receive some questions from Brooke, and I believe we answered them. We had some problems with the email. Did you?
I did add that to the file link.
Okay, all right, to make sure. We
Yeah.
had a few bounce back to us, just weren't sure. Otherwise, I do have two quick pieces of information to share. In getting ready for this, I noticed in our application package that we may have not included a letter of support that we received from Senator Rothman. So I do have a copy of that I can get over to you if it's not in the package. And then otherwise, I don't have any additional information unless you have any other questions for us. Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
LGBT Center.
Good afternoon, Amber Roadcap, Executive Director with the LGBT Community Center Coalition of Central Pennsylvania. And I do apologize, Brooke, Michael, and I missed the Word doc. We just sent it to you earlier this afternoon. But the questions that were posed to us is the project proceeding per the schedule stated in the application? First of all, thank you for your support for phase 1. What we applied for this cycle was for phase 2. So no activities are taking place until the spring of 2025, but we are on track to finish the basement water mitigation system. We have not yet set dates to have the ADA ramp installed or the roof. I think we are waiting to see kind of where things fall regarding this grant for this cycle and some other funding resources. We did receive the PCCD security grant, so our security improvements will be underway in the next few months. And then the other question that we received was, is there a top priority to be funded with this proposed budget? And absolutely the water mitigation in the basement. I heard somebody with their grant for a ferry boat, so if they want to store it in our marina in our basement, that would be cool. But yeah, so we have water at varying levels depending on what the river's doing and the weather, so that's a huge thing. And the other is that in the last few months, our roof has had several leaks. So we are really loving and appreciating our new home at 1323 North French Street, but experiencing the joys of home ownership at the same time. So any questions? Thank you.
Barrysburg Recreation.
Good afternoon. My name is Wendy Warner, and I'm with the Barrysburg Mifflin Township Recreation Association. We did submit answers to our questions that we received from Brooke, and we don't have anything additional to our application that we submitted, but just would like to thank you very much for your support in the past. Our goal was to upgrade and update our recreation park and playground in 3 different phases, and so far we've been able to do that, and much to the funding that we've received from you, so we thank you very much and appreciate that. Questions? Okay, thank you very much.
Barrysburg Municipal Authority. Oh, okay. Perfect. Thank you. Midwest Food Bank.
Good afternoon. I'm Kathy Anderson Martin, Executive Director of Midwest Food Bank, Pennsylvania. And we did submit answers to the 2 questions. Our proposal is to provide rescue of food that is available, to provide that and distribute that free of charge to nonprofit agencies. Our agencies are facing a double whammy of more people coming for help and also increasing costs at other food banks and from other sources. Everything we give out is given out free of charge. And again, the food's available. It's just a matter of getting it, transporting it, and then getting it ready to distribute. So thank you very much for the past support. We appreciate it. We've been increasing. Last week, there were 19 tractor trailers alone in our parking lot. We had 37, I think, per month. Last year, 17 per month the year before. So opportunities are there, and we appreciate the opportunity to serve our local Dauphin County agencies. Any questions? Yes, sir. Oh, we're open to the public 8 to 4. We schedule agencies come in and pick up. So while I'm here, there have been about, this week, there'll be 75 to 80. We have agencies on a waiting list because we can only do so much from where we are. We'll be looking at a new facility soon. Last year we gave out $26 million. When we opened in 2021, it was $7 million. So obviously we're increasing capacity. And we have volunteers there in the evening and weekends and so forth. Yeah, but the agency's 8 to 4 by schedule. Yes, sir. We serve 200 agencies or nonprofits throughout Pennsylvania, New York, and New Jersey. About 50 of the 200 are in Dauphin County. About 100 within Central PA, meaning Cumberland, Perry, York, and so forth. Anything else? Thank you very much. I thought I was going to be here till the M's, but it was by sign up I would have gotten here earlier. So thank you.
ADEC Enterprise.
Good afternoon. My name is Adesua Kilagme with ADEC Enterprise. I submitted the answers to my questions to Brooke. I don't have any additional information. I don't know if you have any questions for me. Yes. Thank you.
Harrisburg Area Learning Academy.
Good afternoon. I'm Dr. Dawn Crossan, Executive Clinical Director of the Harrisburg Area Learning Academy and the Central PA Center for Trauma and Healing. The TRC, we are the first TRC in Pennsylvania, 34th in the nation. We did submit our questions. The only additional thing we wanted to add is that we are collaborating intensely with Peace Promise, who provides support to human traffic survivors. We provide empirically evidence-based trauma therapy to their members, but they are now asking for training for staff. Their staff are primarily volunteers who have a heart to serve the community, but do not have an awareness of trauma-informed versus empirically evidence-based trauma methods, and also how to handle a human traffic survivor, which trauma itself is huge, but human trafficking survivors, like incest, are like separate categories that, again, fall under trauma, but require a certain type of training. So we are collaborating with them. So that's the only thing in addition that we would have added to the application.
If the applicant were to receive a local share grant, how would it be applied to the project, or how would you use the funds?
The funds would be utilized to be able to increase the trauma training throughout Dauphin County, but particularly with the human traffic survivors. That population has always been here, but has been increasingly become aware of the need for volunteers and staff to be able to handle the population differently from other trauma survivors, because it is very nuanced.
Would you be looking to purchase equipment, materials, literature, or other types of things, or pay salaries? How would the funds be used for the training?
Well, most of the money would go towards materials in terms of the additional literature necessary to train the staff. We are looking into smart boards and use smart boards and things of that nature so that we can provide training at a greater level. A lot of times, myself and the other licensed therapists will go out into the community and provide training, which is great, but we would like to be able to do that in bigger bulk and be able to reach more people with one training versus 20 here, 10 here, 5 there. You guys, I'm sure, are aware of the need for trauma services in Dauphin County. Per capita, Dauphin County has more trauma than Philadelphia now. I ain't trying to hate on my town, but if you can outdo Philly with trauma, you doing something, so.
Thank you for the clarification.
Thank you. Any additional questions?
Thrive.
Good afternoon. My name is Dee Allen, and I'm the Executive Director for Thrive Housing Services. We did submit our 2 questions to Brooke, and right now we don't have any additional information. We'd like to share that we came out with our 2024 stats, and for the outreach program and for transitional housing. Last year we serviced 741 kids between the ages of 0 and 24. All of those youth were homeless, and needed assistance with transportation. So the grant that we submitted for transportation is extremely important because the youth are not able to get to doctor's appointments, sometimes to school because they're moving to different houses. So we definitely appreciate the opportunity, and we're thankful for the grant that you gave us last year to provide additional housing services to this population. Does anybody have any questions for me? All right, thank you so much.
GNT Travel.
Good afternoon. My name is Tony Klee, co-owner of G&T Travel. We did return our questionnaire back to Brooke, and we just have one thing to add. Here at our location, we're trying to bring more youth into the program we're trying to do with EV stations. We want to have mentorship and partnership with companies that we have reached out to. So if you consider that when we move forward with our opportunity for this grant. If you have any questions? Thank you.
Fox's Wash and Go.
Brooke, I owe you an attachment. I didn't submit an attachment, so I owe you one. But I did submit my stuff to Brooke. And the only update I have is we changed our funding providers and our construction team. We finally picked one, so we're with Gym Group. And so Gym Group is running the show for the new build on the laundromat. Is that what we're talking about?
Your application is for the mixed-use building.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So yes, they were supposed to break ground when we had the little snow blizzard. So they were supposed to do the pre-testing of the soil and all of that stuff, but they couldn't do it because the ground was too hard. So I sent Brooke an email of the update that they said they should get out there this week to be able to test the site, the soil on the site. So I did send that from Gym Group. And then I forgot the attachment of the breakdown to your question.
I received that email while I was here, so I will add that to the file link once we get back so you can see that.
Thank you.
Center for Employment Opportunities.
I knew I was after Angel, so I said, let me gather my belongings. My name is Kia Hansard. I am Director of Center for Employment Opportunities. We provide workforce development services to men and women returning from state correctional institutions. We provided responses to the additional questions that Brooke provided to us, so wondering if anyone has any additional questions.
How much has been requested from the Stabler Foundation?
$20,000.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? No? Okay, well, thank you for your previous support, and we look forward to your ongoing support. Thank you so much.
Justice House of Hope.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Justice Maddox. I'm the CEO of Justice House of Hope and Justice Learning Center, and I'm here today to talk about Justice House of Hope. I did answer the questions that were sent to me by Brooke, and I was just wondering if you had any questions for me.
Were the jobs identified in the application, the house manager and supervisor, for this project or the other project?
It is the other project.
Other, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me. Have a great day.
Bread coin.
Hello, my name is Isha Mobley, and I'm the Pennsylvania Engagement Leader for Breadcoin. So do you have any questions for me? Breadcoin is we provide food security with dignity. Many of the nonprofits that have come before you today, we work with many of them. They get coins from us for free so that they can give them out to their clients who are food insecure. So we provide like having a kitchen without having to have a kitchen in your building or your office or in your organization. Anything? Thank you. Okay, thank you.
Harrisburg Area YMCA.
Good afternoon. My name is Eric Rothwell. I'm the Vice President of Government Relations for the Harrisburg Area YMCA, and our application was for our Camp Curtin branch in Uptown Harrisburg, and I understand there was a $500 discrepancy. I do have that answer for you. That we do actually, instead of having 7,000 already raised, we have 7,500 raised as of today. So that's that $500 discrepancy to answer that question. But the Camp Curtin Branch YMCA in Uptown Harrisburg it's a hub for the community, and we just want to make some bathrooms more accessible and ADA accessible for families to be able to go into them as a family and not individual. We're doing it at all of our branches in the association, in Camp Curtin. We just want to follow suit there, and because it's being more heavily utilized right now, especially with the Harrisburg Food Pantry moving in and the youth programming coming back to what it used to be pre-COVID, it's something that's really necessary at that branch. Thank you. Any other questions?
AACA Museum.
Good afternoon. My name is Rob Kane. I represent the AACA Museum Incorporated of Hershey, Pennsylvania. We are a 21-year-old nonprofit facility based in tourism and education, and we have little to nothing to do with chocolate. I wanted to thank you all, this committee, for allowing me to come here and represent the museum, and we did resubmit some questions to your coordinator, one of which was a monetary error, and I welcome any other questions that you might have.
What are the costs that the museum has already paid on the first phase of the expansion?
You said what if the cost is already paid?
Well, either in the application or the responses to the questions, it had mentioned that a portion of the expansion project had already been paid for.
Oh, I see. We do intend to raise $10,000 for Phase A, and we are not requesting that the entire project be funded. We do want to pay for some of the portions of this advertising component that we have for ourselves as well as the community along the Route 39 Hershey Road. So that's how I explain it. We're definitely going to fund some of that ourselves as we can.
Thank you.
Thank you as well.
Central PA Rifle Club.
Hello, I'm Ryan Evans, and I'm here representing Central PA Rifle Club. I believe the club president did forward the 2 questions that we had to Brooke. This is our first time applying for any monies, and I just wanted to paint a picture that this is a small community organization. It's been around for nearly a century. Our membership reflects that. There is very limited funding, and we need to be able to keep our infrastructure and roof over our head in order to ensure that we can continue our youth programs through 4-H Scouts and continue to provide our partnerships for hunter education through Pennsylvania Game Commission. Also within the community, ever since 717 Armory had their fire and when our own community building burnt down, there is increased need and use of our facilities, which we generally allow to community members with no charge, just a certificate of insurance. So we'd like to be able to continue to provide those services for our township, our borough, the county, and if there are any additional questions, I'm happy to answer some.
What's the status of the funding or support from Dauphin County Tech?
So Dauphin County Tech, we have reached out to them and one of their teachers, and for next school year, they couldn't fit anything in this year, but for next school year, it does look like they'll be able to provide some students who would help us with the labor costs associated with putting a new roof on. They don't do anything with materials, so we're a little stuck in that way. And again, with a majority of our membership being in their 70s and 80s, we can't really provide that manpower. That's kind of where we're stuck.
Thank you.
Yes. I am, and actually our small club, it actually provides a third of the total hunter educators for Dauphin County. Any further questions? Sorry, it's probably your line. Okay, thank you all.
Ecumenical Retirement Community.
Good afternoon, and thank you for this opportunity. I'm Michael Leader, representing Ecumenical Retirement Community, which is a 280 resident at the present time retirement community located in Susquehanna Township, and the application is for installation of security cameras on the doors from the to the outside, either going from inside to the outside or from outside to the inside. We have submitted responses to the questions, and I would just say, for clarification purposes, where for other funding sources, the funding sources that would be used to finance the portion that's going to be paid for of this project, or that would be paid for by Ecumenical Community, would be from the community itself, from its reserve for replacement and improvement. So this is a 30-year-old campus, so that fund is mostly used and needed for roofs, windows, generators, emergency generators, elevator upgrades, and that sort of thing. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to try to answer them. None? Thank you very much.
Creative Community Grow.
My name's Andrew Siliker. Evelyn, it's her birthday. She wants to be.
Yeah, it would be the best birthday gift if you had.
So we already sent in the questions to Brooke. The only real change is the fence is $12,100 under estimate, so less money. So that brings our total grant amount requested to $34,700. But otherwise, the project is going. We had a meeting last week with the township. Township residents came in for a pre-registration event. They're excited. It looks like it's in motion. So if you guys have any other questions for us, happy to answer.
We don't often get requests to be lowered.
Well, I don't think we'll have any buyer's remorse here, but we were able to find a co-stars that was under everybody else, so we were able to knock some money off. Thank you much. Thank you.
At this time, I called everybody that signed in. If I missed you, if you want to come forward and address who you are, but then please make sure you sign the list.
Hello all. Capital Region Literacy Council, Joe Bedard. Thank you for... Thanks for your support in the past. Thanks for your continued service on the board. If you know anywhere where kids' books might be enjoyed in the community, we always like to hear new ideas and answer Brooke's questions and see if you have any questions.
Are the funding updates that you provided to Brooke in hand?
Yes.
Including the Murray Foundation?
10,000?
Yes.
Yeah.
In hand? Committed?
That was in 24. I know we got one in 24. We haven't applied in 25 for them, but when we did the original grant, yes, that 10,000 was in hand.
Thank you.
Yep. Cool. Thank you all.
Is there anybody else that did not have a chance to come down?
Well, members of the board, that brings us to item number 9 for board comments. Are there any?
I just want to thank everybody on the team for all the hard work they did this year, and we appreciate it.
Yeah, well done.
Thank you much. With that, we'll move on to item number 10. We'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Having a motion second, all in favor say aye. Aye.